Hello, everybody, and welcome to my review of Impact Wrestling. A lot of things going on in the show tonight. Before we do begin with this review, just want to say condolences, to Daffney, who unfortunately passed away at the age of 46. I know Impact did have a graphic up for her. Apparently, it was by suicide and whatnot. I did see the video that everyone has been talking about. Before the news of her death actually happened. I would say it's very disturbing. I wouldn't really go back and look at it. I know that she had a pistol in her hand, and like I said, it's unfortunate. Just a very sad situation. Okay, I just say if you need help, always ask for help. Okay, like I know I don't have like a number to like call suicide prevention or anything to put up, but definitely look that up and ask for help, talk to somebody and whatnot. Like I said, it's very, very sad that what happened to Daffney. Daffney, I do remember, who was in WCW. I think I watched more of her in TNA than I did in WCW and whatnot. I knew of her in WCW. I knew she had teamed up with Crowbar and David Flair at the time, and I knew a couple of other stuff too, which was pretty funny too, but also known as the Scream Queen and whatnot. I do remember a lot of her work in TNA though, from teaming with Mick Foley and Steven Richards right there. Everybody talks about the match between her and Raven versus Abyss and Taylor Wilde and whatnot. I know it was bad blood between her and TNA almost 10 years ago. I'm sure people know about the Rosie Love situation, and that TNA didn't pay for her medical bills after that barbed wire spot she took. But like I said, I do remember doing that Awesome Kong challenge, $25,000, and I remember Daffney mostly a little bit more from TNA than I did WCW and whatnot. But that's just like a couple things that I wanted to say and everything, just from my memorization of her. But Daffney, I say, has been an influence on a lot of the gimmicks you see right now, especially that horror or golf. The horror golf, maybe scary gimmicks and whatnot. We can go from people from Rosemary to Nikki Cross, Sandy, Nikki Cross, Sue Young, Abaddon, like several others and whatnot, which they have worked with Daffney also in the past. And like I said, it was a lot of love and outpouring and support from the wrestling community and wrestlers themselves that had a lot to say. So very sad and unfortunate situation that happened. So I just wanted to say rest in peace to Daffney. Had at least say a couple things right there before beginning this review. But yes, as the show began, we did kick it off with the influence of Madison Rayne, Tennille Dashwood, and Caleb Conley versus Taylor Wilde, Jordan Grace, and Rachel Ellering in a intergender match, I should say. The match was okay. Taylor Wilde getting the win over Conley with the tornado DDT and whatnot and stuff. So it's not much I could say from this. Like I said, I figured Conley's going to take the pinfall anyways. Then again, the guy's stabbing a neck brace, and he's just basically taking, the fall of all this. So it's not much to say from it right now. Like I said, they're still feuding with Taylor Wilde and whatnot. So we'll see where this still is going to go. But, I thought it was an okay match, I'll say that. Next, they did show footage from NWA Empower from last Saturday from Deonna Purrazzo going against Melina, retaining the Knockouts Championship, and attacking Mickie James the next night on NWA 73 after her match. Purrazzo's in the back with, Matthew Redwald, basically talking about Mickie James, and, possibly overshadowing her. And, everyone's asked these stupid questions. Deonna says, I'm focusing on the future right now. That's what I'm doing. As, basically, talked about Trey McGeldon, that he has the artist's attention right now, but Deonna says that tell Mickie James not to cross the Queen of Queens. So, given from Saturday, what happened at Empower and through 73, obviously just going to transpire on the Impact. I figured it would anyway, so at least they did show footage from the pay-per-view. It wasn't a bad show, I will say. I did watch both Empower and NWA 73. Not bad shows. I thought they were pretty good. Tommy Dreamer was in the back, though, talking about how he beat Christian and Jake Hager back for the, I guess I shouldn't be saying ECW title, but the WWECW title at the time, back in 2009. But Christian says, you didn't pin me, though. But Dreamer says, I know you're the champion right now, and if you're not the, champion, and, it'd be great to face you. But Jeremy told Christian, no matter what, do not come out here and help me. Let me handle Ace on my own, which I figured we all know was going to happen after that. Next, Decay came out. They were going to go against, followed by No Way Jose. Tasha Steelz was dressed as the hamburger and ended up hitting, I guess, like a cold break on her before her and, Savannah Evans ended up hitting like a clothesline onto Havoc as she chased her, leaving her on the ground. So they got some payback right there. No Way Jose, man. Like the crowd kind of started to turn on him and look like. I don't think they digging this gimmick. It's the same gimmick he did in WWE. So it's no way Jose, and they kind of chanting Black Taurus out there. I kind of went back and looked at that. So I think No Way Jose really needs to change up his gimmick because, like, come on, it's the same shit you did in WWE, okay? It's the same conga line, and it's not even No Way Jose, it's No Way. You just dropped Jose from it, so not much of a difference from there. Next, William Morrissey was talking about Callahan and Edwards about, going against them. Talk about Callahan is butting in my business right now. And listen, I know you guys are enemies. I respect that you want to work together, but there are no friends in pro wrestling. Next, Moose showed up. Then, I do agree with you and whatnot. And I stab you in the back, you stab me in mine. But we're not friends. But we do have issues with Callahan and Edwards. So I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for an alliance. Steve Macklin was cutting a promo in the back, talking about Petey Williams. You want to call yourself a destroyer, but you know nothing about destruction. Macklin basically says, I'm no more than destruction. I know mayhem. He ended up throwing his chair and challenged him to a match next week, saying mayhem for all. So Steve Macklin, I'm coming more and more impressed every other time. I know it's a slow build getting him up there, but they are doing well with him. Like I said, it's almost crazy that this guy was Steve Cutler in the Forgotten Sons and was really nothing over there. But now it's like he's found a new lease on life at this point. So I am liking what I see right now. Moose came out then, talking about everybody right now wrestling, especially in this era, wants to be a hero right now. And Eddie Edwards, you want to get involved in my business and stuff. Listen, I've known you for a while, but now I'm a monster now, okay? He told Eddie to get out here. Eddie came out with his kendo stick and tried to hit Moose with it. And ended up brawling for a second. Morrissey got in, Moose ended up hitting a spear, and ended up beating up, doing, not Callahan, but Edwards doing a double, power bomb and whatnot, leaving him on the ground. So, obviously, I guess it's probably going to be a tag match sooner or later with Moose and Morrissey versus Eddie and Callahan there. So, we'll see where that goes, but not a bad segment, though. Followed by Nowhere Jose in the back talking about, the match with Decay. Until TJP is now back. Well, TJP was already back, but I guess he's back with Followed by as a team. He didn't really trust No Way Jose. But, we're going to go back to Swingers Palace, get some gambling going on, and they're going to bet, I guess. But, Body don't want to do it because he has a gambling addiction, but Perkins says he'll take care of it. Eric Young, Violent by Design. We haven't seen one of these promos. Well, maybe we have seen these promos, but not in the prison yard, though. Talking about Violent by Design, that Rhino, you're the same prisoner or whatnot, and, they showed him on, a gurney or, a hospital bed with the flag over, with the Violent by Design flag, and you need to be reborn, but you must suffer first, okay? We must free your soul by abandoning you into the darkness. So, they basically left the man in the dark room handcuffed to a pipe, and you can hear Rhino in the background saying, help me. So, Rhino, they're going to be leaving him since he's been fucking up. They're going to leave him in the darkness to solitary confinement until he finds himself or something. But I do like the Violent by Design promos, though. Josh Alexander had an open challenge for the X Division title. And who's his opponent? Jake Crist. We haven't seen Jake Crist in a very long time. I think the last time Jake Crist was on here was when his brother turned on him last year. That was before he got, released due to that whole, I think the whole speak out movement and whatnot. But I never really remember what happened to Jake. They turned on him and nothing really ever happened then. And so he'd been gone for almost over a year at this point. So it was nice to see him again on here. He went against Josh Alexander. A very good match though, a little bit short, but I did enjoy it. Josh Alexander still getting the win. So maybe I'm assuming Jake Crist will be sticking around. So we'll see what happens with him, but it was nice to see him on here. But then Gia Miller interviewed Josh Alexander talking about why are you defending your title, against unknown opponents. Now he said because he has to. It's for the legacy and for his, for this brand and whatnot. This X Division title is one of the most prestigious championships in wrestling, and he must challenge anybody because he wants to have his name in the conversation of being the greatest X Division champion of all time. And Chris Sabin came out there basically saying, I like your rise to the company, but I've been a 8-time X Division champion and whatnot. So okay, and you've only had it once, and I could have it again. And you want to talk about being the greatest X Division champion, you need to beat the greatest X Division champion of all time, and that is him. I don't know about that, even though you had it 8 times. But Sabin says, how about this? Me and you, Victory Road, okay? So why don't you think about that if you want to do this, if you want to beat the best. So if I win, I'll have another notch. I'll be a 9-time champion. But, you beat me, you may have another reason to probably call yourself the greatest X Division of all time. They shook hands and agreed to that match. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be really good. Not bad. Next, they show Brian Myers. I guess, how to be a professional and whatnot. And I guess they talk about this week's lesson of making alliances. And they had these guys out there, and I guess they were going to cut them. And one guy was there for catering, and he told another to go cut his check his gut. It was gut check. That actually, check your actual gut. That was kind of funny. And then he said, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" Mojo Rawley. I laughed at that one. Whoever said that, it was like, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" Huh? Mojo Rawley. Like get cut. And it was some dude who spoke Spanish. One guy he thought was Matt Cardona in a mask. He cut. They kept the guy Manny Lemons then and whatnot. And then Zicky Dice. I did hear he was signed with Impact. I guess he left, NWA. And Myers says, "How long you been in the business?" "About 35 years. "How long you been in here?" And Myers says about to get rid of him, but be like, whoa, if we cut him, we're gonna be left with Manny Lemons then. But Myers says, "You know what? You can stick around. You're good." So we're going to keep him around. I want to see where this is going with Brian Myers, but I do enjoy these little segments, though. They got him and Sam Beal. It's pretty funny. Rohit Raju and Shira went against Matt Cardona. It's Matt Cardona! And Chelsea Green. Mixed tag match. Well, not mixed, but I guess no intergender match. Surprisingly, they had Rohit hit like a big knee strike on to Chelsea Green for the win. So, gonna see where it's gonna lead to next. Don't know where it is gonna lead to, but we'll see what happens. Su Young is back with Kimberly, talking about collected souls, but some souls can be converted. So now Brandy Lauren is part of the zombie mob now, it looks like, with Su Young, of whatever undead army she's trying to come up with. So we'll see what that happens. The Good Brothers came out. Carl Anderson, man, not a good 24 hours from him right now, especially with Twitter. The way, he is really going back and forth. Like, he's in the wrong for this one. He really is in the wrong for what he's doing right now. Okay, especially talking about someone's death, but you're kind of using their death to talk about your hatred towards WWE and whatnot, and say they suck. And even though WWE did a good thing of offering counseling to people with mental health and whatnot, but and then him arguing back and forth with fans throughout the night, calling them marks. He didn't delete the tweet. He didn't give a shit last night. He was just going back and forth, tell people to fight. I don't know if he was drunk. I don't know what happened with what's going on with Carl Anderson right now, but the dude was really burying himself last night on Twitter. This dude, and he didn't stop. He just kept going back. He even promoted himself on Impact too. So I don't know. And I know people are going to say he needs to be fired. I'm sure somebody will talk. I don't think any wrestler's going to publicly call him out, but I'm sure they're talking to him in the back, telling him you can't be doing shit like this. So, and I know people say he needs to be fired from Impact or not show up on AEW. First off, the show's already taped, so I don't think they could really do anything to the next set. And I don't see him or Gallows holding those tag team titles that long, and he may be taking off AEW television for the time being. So that was a very bad move, especially overall Daffney situation, just kind of using it to go against WWE. So Carl Anderson, not a good 24 hours for him right now. But back to the segment though. He piped the crowd up, telling them to shut their fat mouths, and talk about what they did to Rich Swann and Willie Mack last week. And Mack's in a hospital right now. Rich Swann came out with a chair swinging on both Gallows and Anderson before security came out and stopped him. And then he wanted a match with Carl Anderson, which Scott D'Amore gave him. You're going to have it next week in a bunkhouse brawl match. So we'll see what happens there. In the main event, though, we had Ace Austin versus Tommy Dreamer. If Tommy Dreamer won, it will be a triple threat match for the world title and whatnot. But it wasn't a bad match. I figured Ace was going to go over anyways. Of course, Fulton got involved for a second, but Ace ended up getting like the fold for the win. They probably could have added Dreamer in there, since they were kind of, teasing it early on the night, but I don't think they needed Dreamer going over Ace Austin clean, at the same time, okay? But Ace got the win right here. So, like I said, not a bad show. Not a good episode of Impact this week. I probably will check out Victory Road then, since they are building that up. I gotta say one thing about these plus shows. I've always kind of shit on them and said they were non-canon or I didn't care, but they've gotten better with these plus shows, especially making them either canon or at least hyping them up and building at least a few good matches on there. Not saying every match is really good, but they do have some good matches they hyped up on there and are interested to look forward to. So I do like some a little bit more of these plus pay-per-views nowadays. But other than that, though, that's my review of Impact Wrestling this week. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. It's going to be a long weekend. We got All Out coming, so we'll see how that goes. SmackDown review coming, Rampage review coming. All Out, we're trying to decide on that right now. So we'll see what goes on from there, okay? But other than that, I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace out.